it's going to be an exciting fight. He wants it just as bad as I do. He's defending his world title. He had a huge upset that he made on Ryan Garcia in Times Square. So I think that, whatever he plans on doing, man, we're ready for anything and everything.
I've done no fake beef. I've not made up nothing. I'm like, no, me and him are friends. And it's been like that. We didn't talk for a while because he did get envious when I won my world title. And before that, because Teo's the kind of person like this, right? He's happy when people are, when he's doing better than everybody else. But when I did better than him, he started trash talking me, calling me out, all that stuff. And that's where this true drift started. But my heart never changed towards him. I've always loved him, and I will always love him. So
we're gonna get into Teo and his dad in a little bit. What do you think, Kyle?
What I think is it's really rare that you see somebody coming off of a comprehensive lopsided loss, the kind that Teofimo had against Shakur Stevenson, and then fighting a legitimately tough challenger in Rolly Romero in the next fight.
But I think we're at a point now where, when you beat someone convincingly, people start disrespecting the guy you just beat. Look at Teofimo, for example. Teo is a hell of a fighter, and the way Shakur beat him, people are going to act like Teofimo suddenly isn't as good as he's already proven to be. That's the problem. You can dominate a fighter without making that fighter a bad fighter. A great performance should elevate your own performance, not erase everything the other guy has accomplished.
For sure, but I think that right now, we at a point where it's they disrespect the guys after you beat them. Just how Teo, right? Teo is a hell of a fighter. The way that I beat him, they're just gonna disrespect him and act like he's not. Shit, hold up. He's not as good as what he already proved himself to be. And even with Devin, they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna find the excuse after I beat him, they're gonna say, "Oh."
I was basically mad-dogging Rolly the whole time, just giving him that look. And that's how we first crossed paths in Colorado. When I met him, my first impression was that he was part of a seriously stacked tournament roster. The bracket was loaded with talent, so seeing Rolly in that mix immediately stood out.
We met on May 23rd of 2015, and he was warming up for a fight. I was warming up for a fight, and I just started mad dogging him because I like to mad dog people. No, and it's crazy, So before I didn't have my glasses. I used to wear glasses, right? Because I didn't do. I did PRK or I did LASIK, right? So I'd be mad dogging people. So everybody call me Clark Kent because I take off my glasses. I'd be I'm mad all the time, squinting. So it's I'm mad dogging him, and yeah, that's where I met him in Colorado.
Yeah, and what were your first impressions when you met Rolly?
I think the problem today is that not enough fighters are willing to set that kind of example, and I'm here for it. Rolly is a tough competitor and a world champion at welterweight, so I felt like it was only right to step up and take on that challenge. And the thing is, I know Rolly well. I know what gets under his skin, I know what triggers him, and I know there are certain things about him that most people simply don't see.
It didn't stop you from having to continue on what your journey is and what you're trying to aim for, and that's greatness. So I think the problem with today is that not a lot of people are setting that example, and I'm here for that. So, Rolly is a tough competitor, tough champion, super WBA world champion at that in the welterweight division, and I just felt like it was only right.
I think being around you guys has taught me that boxing fans can be prisoners of the moment. Look at Rolly before the Garcia fight. People were already writing him off, acting like his career was finished. Then we watched a 40-year-old man have his way with him for long stretches, and somehow Rolly still came out with the win. Let's be honest, though, the performance itself raised plenty of questions, because most people watching that fight felt Rolly was actually losing. One result doesn't suddenly erase what happened in the ring.
I always say this, though, and I think being here with you guys, y'all have taught me that you guys are prisoners of the moment in boxing, right? Because before Rolly was fighting Garcia, we thought it was over for Rolly. We watched a 40-year-old man do whatever he wanted to him, and they somehow, some way, Rolly won that fight. When y'all know he really was losing that fight, okay? Getting embarrassed by a 40-year-old man. Then he fights, who did he fight to that? Before that fight, he fought Tank.
But with Teo, the situation came back around, and this time he took the fight. The first time he didn't. I'm the one who was pushing to make these fights happen, trying to get the matchups done, and nobody wanted to step up for whatever reason. I know the real reason, and honestly, I think everybody knows it. I'm a natural fighter at this weight, and that makes me a difficult matchup for anyone.
But with Teo, right, it came back around and he took the fight this time. But the first time he didn't. I'm the one that made the fight. I'm the one that tried to make all these fights, and nobody
and nobody wanted to fight me for whatever reason. I mean, I know the real reason. I mean, I think everyone knows I'm finally at my natural weight, you know?
Then his father comes back and says, "You weren't focused. You weren't fully dialed in. They got to you." And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so now we're going to blame Teo for that? Eventually, though, his father swallowed his pride and admitted the truth. It's my fault. That's the part that matters. When things go wrong, you can either make excuses or take responsibility for what actually happened.
Then the father comes back, right? And the father goes, "Well, you wasn't focused. Like, you wasn't dialed in. Like, they got to you. They got to you." And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going, okay, Dad, you want to blame Teo. And then eventually the dad found it within himself, sucked up his pride, and finally said, "It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. I take the blame." But
in my opinion, Lopez showed me something I didn't expect. I started thinking, damn, is he actually growing up a little bit? Is this genuine, or is it just a front? Because some of the things he was saying, I could relate to. I had my father in my corner too, but there was an important difference. My father knew when to be my dad and when to be my coach. We understood that balance, and that separation matters when you're trying to perform at the highest level.
best interviews ever in the history of Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion. And it made me realize, like, damn, is he growing up a little bit? Is he growing up a little bit? Is this a front? But is he growing up a little bit? Because, like, some of the stuff he was saying, I can relate because, like, again, I had my father in my corner as well. But the thing is that my father was my father when he needed to be my father, and he was my coach. And we knew how to have that balance. Yes, there were times where...
Did you ever think, after knowing Rolly for all those years, that you two would eventually end up fighting? Was it ever in the back of your mind that one day this matchup might actually happen? Because realistically, it's always a possibility. Absolutely.
Ability.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure other guys that are like friends and sparred and all that, they have the same sense. It's like their sixth sense.
I know you've helped Rolly in the past. You've given him money, a good substantial amount of it. And I just keep thinking, I try to think, the humanity, like you guys are people, human beings and everything. If Rolly's in the ring, hurt, stumbling, like, would you go for the kill, or would you think, you know what, I don't really want to hurt Rolly?
I'd say if I was in the same situation then, like that, I think he'll try to finish it. It's the same thing. It's just boxing. It's just...
Why are you doing this if you don't believe you can become the best? That's the mindset you need in this sport. Don't let the money become bigger than the vision that got you started in the first place. For me, that's really what I'm trying to show behind the scenes. This is possible. You can chase the goal, stay committed to the vision, and actually make it happen.
I'm just like you. I just didn't quit. And another thing is, make the best fights happen. Believe in yourself. I mean, why are we doing this? If you don't believe that you're the best, you know what I mean? Don't let the money overpower the vision that you got and the reason why you started all this. I think that's my real behind the scenes of what I'm really doing here is letting you guys know that, look, it's possible. As long as you're bringing in a lot of the people, we got streamers, which I'm very appreciative of, and just collaborating, but at the same time, it's more so entertainment. Look, direct deal with the Zone for multi-million-dollars, bro.
Rolly seems to have a strong sense of who he is, and that's the difference you're pointing to with Teo. Teo, even by his own admission, is still trying to figure himself out, spiritually as a man and stylistically as a fighter, fight by fight. Rolly seems much more settled in that regard. He knows who he is, he understands what he brings into the ring, and he's comfortable with that identity. And when a fighter has that kind of certainty, it can make a real difference when the pressure gets high.
His sense of self that he feels, and that what you're getting at with Teo, he lacks, right? As I guess Teo even himself, from what you said on Rick's podcast, he's still trying to figure himself out spiritually as a man, stylistically as a fighter, fight to fight, all those kinds of things. Rolly is certain that he's there right now, right? He knows thyself and is comfortable with that. But Teo has experience he doesn't have. I've had to go through things with the mother of my children, crazy ups and downs, nearing divorce. We're gonna sign the papers, then we get back together. Now I got a second child on the way. I'm a father and you are not.
Boxing Glove subscribe to Fighting Warriors for the latest boxing news, fight breakdowns, face-offs, and exclusive fight content. Fire ***.